Hey everyone, my name's Neil. Welcome to the video. Thanks for joining me today. This is a Q&A. It's been actually a while since I did a Q&A. Maybe last June or July-ish, something like that. I believe that was the last Q&A. And we did actually film another one, Jason and I, but the audio totally screwed up. I still may release it someday, but maybe just to the YouTube members or maybe the Patreon members, something like that. But it's recorded and it's ready to go, but I needed to do a new one. So thank you to everyone who participated on Twitter and replied to the tweet with a question. Now I'm going to go through every single question that was asked, and there were some duplicates, so I may have to answer twice, but I still wanted to include those in the video because people took the time out of their day to reply to that tweet, and I appreciate it. So you'll see yourself in the video. Okay, so the first question is from Mike. He says, if YouTube became your full-time job and you could live in any city that has an NHL team you can attend, it doesn't need to be your favorite team, aka Montreal, but a city you can live in all year and attend games. That's a very intense first question here for this video. I would personally prefer to stay in Canada, and that narrows it to 7 teams. So if we go through the process of elimination of the 7 teams, Montreal is my favorite team. I would not live in Quebec. Well, wrong one. That was probably offensive. I would not live in Quebec. No offense to anyone in Quebec. I just don't speak French at all, and I think I would struggle. Ottawa, I'm going to leave Ottawa up because I would consider them. Toronto, I love Toronto, but I would never live there. Too many people. Winnipeg, way too cold in the wintertime. No thanks. So we got Calgary, Vancouver, and Edmonton. I wouldn't live in Edmonton. I've been there, and it was okay, but I just like cities or other cities more. So no Edmonton. So Vancouver and Calgary. I'm going to leave Calgary because I really like Calgary, and then Vancouver. I'd probably consider to living around or in in Vancouver. Sorry, but it wouldn't be my first choice. So let's remove. We got Calgary. We got Ottawa. I like to be closer to the East Coast because that's where I'm from. I've only ever lived in the East Coast of Canada, so now I got to think about hockey because I love both these cities. I love Ottawa. I love Calgary. Now I got to think about what team I want to watch. Well, Ottawa's on the rise, ish. They have a lot of really interesting players, and Calgary's going through some struggles. But I think I would actually choose Calgary as the city that I would live in and attend hockey games because I think they're going through the process of getting a new arena soon, so it would be really neat to see that. Also, it's quite adjacent to the mountains, and I love photography and stuff, so I think Calgary would be the ideal city for me to live in and attend NHL games from within Canada. If I had to choose a city in the United States, it would be very easy. It would be Denver. Next question. I cannot pronounce your name. I apologize. What countries have you visited? Oh, I didn't prep for these. I didn't prep for these questions. I just kind of screenshotted them. So Canada, obviously I live here. United States, basically every single Caribbean island. Some of those are considered the U.S. Virgin Islands. Some of those are individual countries, like I think Belize and Roatan. Let's see, Jamaica. There's a bunch of other ones. I've been to Mexico. I haven't really been. Compared to a lot of people, I haven't traveled that much. I've never traveled internationally, like across an ocean. I've never been to Europe. I've never been to Africa. I've never been to Asia, Hawaii, anything crazy like that. I haven't even been to like Alaska. Nothing super remote or anything like that. Just basically within North America and just maybe around the bottom edge of North America. All right, next question. Caniac for Life says, if the NHL gave you one free contract to buy out to every team, what major contracts do you think should be bought out? This is an interesting question. It's a good question, but it's a question that involves a lot of thought. So I'll pick the easy answer, and that is from my team, Carey Price. No offense to Carey Price, but his value to the team does not equate his financial value. What he's being paid is not being returned in play to the Montreal Canadiens. I personally believe that he's being overpaid, so I would probably buy out Carey Price's contract. I like Carey Price. That's nothing against Carey Price. Next question. Do you plan on watching the Mighty Ducks Game Changers Disney Plus series? Absolutely. Heck yeah. I'm excited for that new Disney Plus series. Next up, out of all the teams that are defunct / relocated, which one would you play for and why? Well, I mean, there's the Hartford Whalers, which is the easy one. But I'm gonna answer the question kind of in a roundabout way, and this kind of goes back to the original or the first question. Sorry, I would choose the Colorado Rockies because technically they played out of Denver, if I'm not mistaken, and they are a previous or defunct team that moved to New Jersey and became the Devils in 1982 or whenever that was. So I would choose the Colorado Rockies, which would in turn mean that I get to live in Denver. So there you go. Crangus McBasketball says, should the Rangers fire David Quinn, and if so, who would be a good replacement? I think there's a lot of potential good replacements, but I'm kind of leaning on the side that maybe they don't. And I know that's probably not the answer that you want to hear, but I just want to see what happens. I want to see how this year plays out. I think the Rangers are under. I don't want to use the word underwhelming. It seems offensive. I don't mean they're underwhelming. They're underperforming based on my expectations personally. So I just want to see if they can right the ship and end the season, and then we'll see what happens with that. Next up, how many autographs do you have in your collection? Actually, not that many. I think, I have that Mississauga Steelheads jersey with, I think the whole team has signed it. I've got a couple Saku Koivu autographs and a bunch of others floating around on cards and stuff, but I actually don't have a lot of stuff with autographs on them. All right, Marissa says, I'm very curious if you have any of your own logos that you are at liberty to show off. I'm sure if not, it's because of copyright and all of that, but I think it would be wicked interesting to see some of the things you've designed. I can show you some things, I guess, technically, but I can't really show you anything current, and it's not because it's copyrighted or anything like that. It's just kind of because it's unfair of me to release to the world here where I work, because unfortunately I have a lot of trolls. I don't think I'm a person that's easy to hate, but a lot of people seem to hate me, and they decide to troll me and stuff, and I've had death threats and all kinds of things throughout the years, and it's quite frustrating. I wouldn't want that to transition to the company that I work for just because they're trying to hurt me. So that's why I don't tell people where I work now. As my job, I work as a marketing manager, marketing lead, and graphic designer. And so, yeah, Marissa, I have created quite a bit of things in the past, even just 3 years or 2 years. But I guess I can show you some random old stuff. I'll go back to the archives. Like I've got back in 2004 when I was just starting to draw digitally and stuff. I did a really crappy drawing of Trinity from The Matrix. That was done in Illustrator. It took like 14 hours, and I didn't know what I was doing. And then I've made some random logos and stuff for people throughout the years. Nothing fancy, just super simple, basic kind of logos. And I've done some branding concepts for previous companies that I've worked for around different holidays and stuff, and some photo touch-ups and whatnot. But actually, in my current job and every previous job that I've had around graphic design, I haven't had to do a lot of literal logo creation. It's been more of manipulation when it comes to graphics, coming up with marketing campaigns for Facebook and Instagram and email marketing campaigns and print media, stuff like that. It's more of the combining of assets, of digital assets that almost already exist, and then creating something and putting it together and sending it out in the world. Not so much creating a logo or a brand identity from scratch. I have to answer to the people above me, and the people above me don't always necessarily have any art degrees or any kind of creative education. They want it a certain way, and sometimes what I create from scratch and have created from scratch never looks the same as the end result because of their influence, and they make the final decision. That's what's really hard about being a graphic designer and working for a company or working for someone, is that what you think looks good or what you know works sometimes doesn't for them. So it's a weird industry where you have to balance your ego a little bit. So, but yeah, I haven't really done a lot of logo creation from scratch. Number 9, or question number 9 from Jason. Hey Neil, hope all is well. All is well, Jason. Thank you. I hope you're doing well as well. Well, good as well. What? Number 1, what is your opinion on the Sabres with the Eichel trade rumors, and which team would you like him on? This is going to sound crazy, but I would love to see him on the Colorado Avalanche. I'm not sure if it would work, but it'd be really interesting to see him play with some of the players on the Avalanche. My general opinion of the Sabres is yikes. Yikes. I'm very frustrated. I am not a Sabres fan, and I'm incredibly frustrated at the team. It's just, they're impossible to watch sometimes. I can't even imagine how fans feel, how frustrated and annoyed fans feel at that organization. Not even just like the players for not giving 110% or 100% or even 80%. It's just, it goes all the way up the ladder, and it's just frustrating. Number 2, have you been to Buffalo and had our wings? I have been to Buffalo, however, I have not had your wings. I've never been to downtown Buffalo. I've just kind of been like around Buffalo. It is a city that I would actually like to visit and explore, like right downtown. Question number 10 from Robbie. Who do you think has the best goalie duo in the league? Ooh, that's tough. I'm going to pick one from technically the old Western Conference and old Eastern Conference. From the East, I'll choose, I think I'm going to go with Boston, with Rask and Halak. Both goalies are very experienced in the last half of their career, but are still playing so solid. That's a really, really strong tandem. And in the West, this one's tricky. I think the best option's probably Vegas, with Marc-Andre Fleury and Leonard. Number 11, what is your most memorable moment while at a hockey game? A lot of good memories, a lot of really good hockey games that I've watched in person, but I think the best memory was in 2018 when I went to Vegas and got to see the Vegas Golden Knights play the Winnipeg Jets in the conference finals. It was the first playoff game that I've seen in person. It was the first game, our first year of the Vegas Golden Knights, and that game was very crucial in their dominance in that specific series. And it was just an amazing experience. I got to meet so many awesome people there. The fans were electric. The arena was amazing. So that was a really, really good memorable moment for me. Number 12, if you could have dinner with one person, dead or alive, who would it be? I've been asked this before, and I'm sure I've answered differently every single time. But I'm going to actually choose kind of I'm going to give an odd answer here. Because of COVID, because of lockdown and everything, I haven't actually seen my parents in a long time. I guess it's been over 6 months now. And then prior to that, I think we saw each other once when the borders opened up just slightly. So I've seen them in the last year and a half or year and 3 months. I've seen them like twice, I think. So I'm actually going to choose my parents. You said one person here. I'm going to choose mom and dad. I'd like to have dinner with them and see them again. Number 13 from Brian. Knowing your struggles, but also knowing that they may have made you stronger, if you could go back in time, would you have called out to work on the day that you broke your ankle? I'm assuming calling sick or something like that. Yeah, that sucked. I mean, I broke my ankle. For those of you who are new, I slipped on ice. I broke my ankle. 3 metal plates, 14 screws in my ankle right now. Spent 2 months on bed rest, learning how to walk again. It sucked. It was terrible. But I'm a big believer that everything happens for a reason. I am not religious in any way, but I've had so many kind of crappy things happen to me in my life that ended up resulting down the road in good things. Good things happened to me that would have never happened if that bad thing didn't happen to me. And I can't even imagine my life if those bad things didn't happen. I don't know where I would be. This channel would not exist if 10 of those really terrible bad things in my life happened. So I'm a firm believer that whatever we go through that's bad or it's a hard time, it'll lead to something that is good. And so every time that I go into a bad time, like COVID, I know that it'll pass, and I know that something good will happen from a bad time, even if it's as crazy bad as COVID. And I know everyone has different experiences. I'm just talking from a personal perspective. Bad times lead to good times. Sometimes that timeline is shorter, and a really good thing happens just after a bad thing. Sometimes it's years away. So I wouldn't change anything. I would break my ankle all over again, even though that was quite painful. Question number 14. How many times have you shelved an idea because the hockey guy has beat you to it? Never, actually. I've never not made a video because I've seen the hockey guy do it. The truth is, I actually don't watch the hockey guy, and beyond that truth, I don't really watch any hockey YouTuber other than the hockey YouTubers that have any kind of jersey content. Now, I know the hockey guy does have jersey content, but he uploads like 11 videos a day. I can't keep up, so as a viewer, I can't have 11 videos on my subscription feed when I'm only watching one of them that might be jersey related. So I have not watched a hockey guy video probably in 2 years. I've spoken with Shannon in the past, great dude. Haven't talked to him in 2+ years, but yeah, I have no idea what content he's creating. Probably the same stuff. So, but I honestly don't pay attention to what he's doing or anyone else on YouTube. A lot of it as well to the fact that I don't want to intentionally copy anyone or intentionally sway my opinion or what I think about a situation based on what someone else on YouTube says about a hockey situation. If there's a suspension and I watch someone talk about a suspension and then I go to make my video, my comments may be influenced by what they have said. Or if they have said something exactly like I was going to say, well, I would go, okay, well, I guess I need to say it differently now. I'd rather just say what I want to say, and if someone thinks I copied them, well, that's their problem, not mine. Question number 15. Will we ever see a video of jerseys that you custom designed using sports templates? I get this question like literally almost on a daily basis, and yeah, I would love to do that, but the time that it actually takes to do a jersey concept properly, and if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it properly. We're talking minimum 2 hours, likely 4 to 5 hours is what I would like to spend designing a jersey, making sure that it is perfect. Now to do that, and if I'm going to do 31 or 32 jerseys, then that's a lot of time. And I work 10 hours a day, sometimes more, at my regular job, Monday to Friday. And then I come home and I got to eat and feed myself. And then I have to prep for the videos that I make and then film them. Sometimes, or actually most of the time, I film my videos extremely late at night, like near midnight, just because I literally don't have the time during the day to do it. And I can barely keep up with my commitment of having one video a day, or 365 videos in 365 days, rather. I didn't post a video yesterday. I just took a day off. So it's literally impossible for me to work my regular day job, still upload basically a video a day or more, and design jerseys. If I wanted to design 31 jerseys or 32 jerseys, I would literally not upload a single post-to-post video for an entire month, because or more, probably a month to a month and a half. There would just be no post-to-post content, and I can't afford to do that. Like I do giveaways monthly that require me to make income from the channel to be able to afford to do those giveaways, for contests, for all that stuff. So even if I wanted to, I can't. I would have to quit my day job in order to design jerseys, which it sounds ridiculous, but it's honestly the truth. I literally don't have time, and that's really unfortunate because it is something that I'd like to do, but it would, like, if I just picked away at it, did 32 jerseys, it would take me a year. That's I have no little available time. Like, it's so small. It would be working on it for 15 minutes and then 5 days later working on it for another 15 minutes. It's just not gonna happen. Sorry, I'd have to quit my job. Number 16, from Chris Wilkinson. Have you ever had anyone fart into your mouth? It's an odd question. Caniac for Life comments down below. Dude, I'm really curious of this too. Why? To answer your question, Chris, well, you already know the damn answer. The answer is yes. So I'll tell everyone else the story. Let's rewind to 2012 or 2013. Nice summer day, sun is shining. It's about 10 a.m. Chris and I go out for our normal break. We've got a hacky sack. Don't know why we were into hacky sack at that time. Two grown men outside playing hacky sack on a nice day. Here's the thing you need to know about PEI. Okay, it's windy. It's real windy, and things they get carried in the wind. One of those things was a fart. Chris, the one who asked the question, he expelled some gas during a game of hacky sack, and I was downwind. And let me tell you, that fart went directly into my mouth, and I could taste it. It was absolutely disgusting. I almost threw up, like literally, not exaggerating. Actually, I almost threw up. It was one of the most disgusting moments of my life, and I'll never forget it. And I'm traumatized that you've asked me this again, Chris. Next question, number 17, Cubs fan, number 44. What is your favorite place in Canada? Looking more for like outdoorsy place in a city. I really want to go to Banff. It looks so beautiful. Here's a pic from Yosemite. I've been to Banff, and while it is nice, it is so overcrowded. Like it is the most typical tourist destination in around that area, and it was okay, but I didn't love it. I preferred the drive from Banff to Jasper. Yeah, there's a lot of tourists along the way, but there are so many little areas that you can stop and kind of be secluded and find a little spot to take a photo or just to have a break away from people. And it's a really, really cool part of Canada. I love it. But to answer your question, my favorite place in Canada is actually Cape Breton. I love Cape Breton. It does get visitors and tourists and stuff, but it is so... it's not very populous. It's the populace is there's no population basically. It's just like there's basically no one there. I don't know the actual population of Cape Breton, but it's very low, specifically around like the Cabot Trail area into Shetty and stuff. And that's a good thing as a visitor because you get to see so many incredible places without thousands and thousands of people there. And the views from Cape Breton are absolutely amazing. I love Cape Breton. It is amazing. Question number 18. I need to speed this up. What is your favorite logo of any sports franchises, and what is your favorite jersey of any sports franchises? Well, I'm going to go with favorite logo is going to be probably the... I'm going to go with the Glasgow Clan. I love that logo in the EIHL. It is phenomenal. It is the perfect logo in my opinion. And my favorite jersey of any sports franchises? That's really tough. I'm not sure if I can answer that. I'd have to like literally think about that. I'm so obsessed with jerseys that I'd have to sit down and spend some time thinking about that. Number 19 from Hunter. Thoughts on Sorokin. Have the Islanders overperformed or underperformed this season in your opinion? It's funny you ask that because I'm just about to film a video where I look at the predictions that I made as far as team standings and compare it to what the standings actually are. And my pick for the Islanders is actually really close. Like I've predicted them almost perfectly so far. So I would say that they have not overperformed or underperformed. They're basically exactly where I thought that they would be, which isn't something I can say for a lot of my other predictions. You'll see. As far as Sorokin, I love seeing young goaltenders come into the league and just like kill it. Like watching Carter Hart do his thing is great. I'm really interested to see the progression of him in the team. Very exciting. Number 20. You're the GM of the Wings. What do you do to turn the team around? Aaron, man, that's a tough question. And I think I'll probably answer the same thing I did 3 years ago if someone answered this to me, is work on the cap and try and draft a little bit better and grow from within versus making trades and trying to, retool or rebuild that way. Number 21 from Flamed C. Which division has been your favorite this year? If I had answered this prior to the season starting and made a prediction, it would have been, the North Division is going to be my favorite. That's actually not true. It's ended up being probably the Pacific or the East. There's a lot of really intense games and rivalries in there. And in the North Division, there's such a disparity in teams and success and just effort. Like there's the Toronto Maple Leafs, then there's everyone else. And that's kind of how it is, and that makes it a bit boring. There's no fight for the top. Question number 22 from To The Point Hockey. If you could buy one more jersey for the rest of your life, what would it be and why? Only one? Man, you can't put me on the spot like that. Do you know how many jerseys that I want? It's just... What's the holy grail jersey that I have that I don't have that I want? That's tough. I don't know. I'd literally have to think about it. I'm sorry, but maybe I'll come back to this one if I think about it. Number 23. Who on the internet makes the best customized NHL jerseys from Cool Hockey? I wonder. Number 24. from Trent. What is something that you would like to achieve in the next few years with YouTube, job, purchase, travel, etc.? That's a really good question, Trent. I like that question a lot. So as far as the channel goes, I don't necessarily have any like super concrete achievements. I made a channel goal for 2021 to get 365 videos in 365 days. That's my usual normal goal on the channel per year. But my subscriber goal for this year is 45,000, just to match what the previous Post to Post channel was before I left it. And I think that's a pretty aggressive. It's a pretty aggressive goal. I don't think I'm going to hit it, but I'm glad I made it. But I don't really I don't think about it a lot. The last time I thought about that was probably when I made the goal. So as far as the channel, my achievements are just to continue to grow and continue to increase the production value and the quality of the videos, and really provide something that no one else is providing on YouTube. There are 100 amazing hockey channels on YouTube, all talking hockey, playing NHL, the NHL games and all that stuff. Those are awesome, and I'll never do better than any of them. But I'm just trying to provide something unique on my end. I watch just as much hockey as those guys, but on my channel, I would prefer to offer something unique that maybe not anyone else is doing out there, or maybe not many are doing elsewhere. So the ranking stuff, the fun stuff, more like the lighter side of hockey. The world has become so serious, and just in sports in general, there's so many arguments, and it's very toxic. I'd rather just focus on the fun, the lighthearted side of things, jerseys and logos, and I don't know, just looking at arenas and all that stuff. So I don't really have any specific goals, just to continue to try and be unique and creative and increase the quality the best that I can. As far as my job is going in an interesting direction, actually. Like I said earlier in the video, I work as a marketing lead and a graphic designer, but I have a lot of other hats at work that are more business related and business growth related. And we are recently moving into, we have recently moved into the United States in a different capacity, I guess I can say. And it's going to lead to a lot of incredible things for me, maybe outside graphic design and maybe from just a business perspective. So I may, a year from now, wear a completely different hat at work, which is pretty exciting. I'm really looking forward to seeing where it goes. And eventually I will tell you guys where I work and stuff. And I may be forced to based on some travel that will be happening. So keep an eye out for that. Probably later in this year. Purchases. I'd like to purchase a house, to be completely honest. I'm trying to be a little bit more wise with my money, not spend as much on jerseys, sell some jerseys that I know I don't really need in my collection, and just work towards that goal. The COVID is being crazy here with the housing market, so I don't really know what's going to happen. And yeah, we'll see what happens there. Travel. I really want to go to Finland. I'd really like to go back to the United States and do the same kind of road trip I did 3 years ago. Vegas, Utah, Nevada, Arizona, California. See some more stuff that I didn't get to see the other time, or the previous trip there. So I definitely want to do that. I'd love to visit Sweden and Norway as well. Yeah, just do some more general travel. I've been getting cooped up here with all this COVID restrictions. Question number 25 from Andrew. What or who motivated you to start a YouTube channel? I can't really answer that specifically, because there were a lot of motivations, whether it was the channels that I watched or my boredom in general life. I think for me, I've always had this creative itch, and it's always needed to be scratched, and I've struggled throughout the years to really continue to scratch it, if that makes any sense at all. So I'm into the photography side. You can check me out on Instagram if you want. But I always kind of wanted more. I just wanted to learn more and do more. And as far as motivation, I think the biggest motivation for me was in my late 20s, early 30s. I realized that I had not really accomplished a lot in life. I did, I guess, socially, but not career-wise or anything like that. I didn't own a house. I spent most of my money on travel. I wanted to invest in experiences versus possessions, and I felt like that. I don't regret any of that, but I felt like I didn't really accomplish anything career-wise or have a safety net or anything like that. So I spent a lot of time playing video games in my 20s. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I just felt like I wasted my entire 20s. And I really wanted to do something and make back that time. So I invested a lot of time into trying to come up with ideas for YouTube channels and decided to do it on hockey. And I really wanted to kind of work as hard as I possibly could in my 30s to make up for the time lost in my 20s playing video games and just generally like wasting time. So I guess the motivation to start a YouTube channel was a bunch of stuff, but the big part of it was, I guess, a personal journey, if that makes any sense. Number 26 from Justin. Hey Neil, hope you and family are staying safe. My question is, do you think the Flyers can/will win a cup with Giroux as the captain, or do you think the Flyers might benefit from stripping him from the seat and giving it to someone like Coots? Great work, all the best. It's tough. Like, I don't think stripping the seat from him and giving it to someone else is gonna get you a cup. That's not gonna happen. I don't think the Flyers are going to necessarily win a cup because of a captain. They're gonna win it from a team effort, not really a captain. I don't think the Flyers haven't won a cup yet recently because Giroux has been the captain. With that said, some of the big names on Philadelphia don't really perform that great in the playoffs, which is concerning as a Flyers fan. But I don't necessarily think he needs to be stripped of his captaincyship. Maybe his time would be potentially done in Philadelphia, but I don't think he would just be stripped of the C and him stay. If he was going to be stripped from the C, he would have to go elsewhere, I think. Number 27 from Stuart. I'd love to know how your passion for logo, design, and branding first developed, and if you see future plans being focused in this area. I adore graphic design and do quite a bit on the side. Heck yeah, Stuart, that's awesome to hear. So to answer your question, I have to go all the way back to 2002-ish, maybe 2001. When I played hockey, my mom created websites for our hockey team. She recorded all of our statistics and stuff, and she would make like logos and banners and headers and stuff. And when I graduated high school in 2004, I didn't really know what I wanted to do with my life. I was a pretty stupid kid. And I'm not saying that just to be funny. Like, I really was not that smart of a kid. Like, I almost failed high school. And she pushed me, and I think she even technically applied for me to college for graphic design because she knew that I kind of dabbled in Photoshop a little bit in high school, and I wasn't like super interested in it, but what I did do, like, I didn't do too bad at it. So she saw that in me a little bit, and she's quite artsy herself, so she pushed me in that perspective and into college. And once I was in there, I found some areas within graphic design and just creativity in general that I thrived in, and it really opened my mind up to being a creative person. So as far as how I got my passion for all this stuff, it has to go back to kind of my mom giving me that push, and it just kind of snowballed from there. And as the YouTube channel started, I basically dove right into logos and stuff as soon as I started the channel. Maybe within the first 20 videos I think I made on the channel, just because I loved it so much, and you guys really like it, which I appreciate, and it's just kind of snowballed from there. Number 28 from Russell. What is your top 5 favorite players of all time? Man, I literally cannot answer this. There's Saku Koivu, there's Patrick Waugh. Other than that, I'd have to think about it, to be totally honest. Number 29. Oh, hands down, hockey and entertainment. Justin, if you knew you only had 24 hours to live, what would you do, and more importantly, what would you eat? I like the last half of that question. What would you eat? Definitely deluxe, some Mary Browns, all that good stuff that's not good for you. What would I do with my time? I would probably... I hate being in people's way, and I think that I would try and organize whatever I was leaving the best I can, so other people who had to take care of whatever I was leaving, like my parents or whatever, I would want them to have less work. So I would get a will, and I would make sure that all my possessions were tallied up and allocated to the right people, and I would close all my credit cards, and I would do all that stuff so someone else wouldn't have to. That is a super boring answer, but I don't want anyone to be inconvenienced by me, which is why I have road rage, and I hate when people don't use their blinkers and stuff. I hate being inconvenienced, so I never want to inconvenience someone else. That's a really boring answer to your question, but it's the truth. Number 30, the 30th question from Ollie. Special characters. What? Special letters. He's got some in here. on jerseys. Yes, heck yeah, I'm a huge fan of that. I want to see that in every single, like, the NHL is not just filled of players from Canada and the United States. They're filled with players from all around the world, and to have those special characters and some of those languages come in on the back of the jerseys, I would pay extra for that on some of my jerseys. Number 31, I don't give a kachuk, says, what jersey is your all-time favorite out of all ones you've ever purchased and why? That's a tough question. That is a very difficult question to answer that I've purchased. I mean, my favorite jersey in the NHL currently is the Colorado alternate. So I got that hand-stitched recently from Cool Hockey with McKinnon on the back. So that's probably the favorite one that I've purchased. But I also think about the first hand-stitched jersey that I made, because that was a big purchase at the time. It was really a risky kind of purchase. I didn't really know what I was going to get into. Was the Timo Meier alternate San Jose Sharks jersey. So maybe one of those two. Number 32, which hockey do you prefer? Major level like NHL or junior like CHL? Brody asked that question. I kind of go back and forth a little bit. Like, I lived in Charlottetown for a while. Watched a lot of QMJHL hockey over there, which was great. It was really good hockey. Got to see some future NHL stars and stuff. But hockey feels more like a show in a way. There's just more that comes with it. So I think I'd prefer the NHL if I could watch it in person. But there's always a time and need for just to watch some good old hockey, and you can find that in, whether it's university hockey or you put in your CHL, QMJHL, whatever. Question number 33 from Sheesh. Are you doing YouTube as a full-time job? If not, would you want to pursue it as a career? So I guess I kind of technically answered this in one of the previous questions. No, I'm not doing YouTube as a full-time job, and I would never do that anytime soon. 5 years, 10 years from now, maybe, like 5 years absolute soonest, and I still, even then, that's not really something I want to do. 10 years, 15 years, maybe. There's no safety net after that. If I lose my job now, I have YouTube to do while I find a new job. It can sustain me for a very short period of time, very short. There's no benefits that come with YouTube, medical benefits. There's none of that, and there's a risk. For example, in December, I think I produced like 40-ish videos. I had 150 or 200,000 views. We'll say 150,000 views in December. Did fairly good on the channel as far as ad revenue and stuff. Good is relative, by the way. And then in January, I had twice as many views, more videos, and like hundreds of dollars less. So you can't count on having a steady income doing YouTube as a full-time job. It's impossible unless you've got like 100,000 subscribers or 200,000 subscribers and you're making a ton of money. That's the only way I could see me doing it, and even then I still have to think about the safety net and stuff. So it would be a tough decision for me to do that. I do want to do it sometime eventually, but not anytime soon. And because I genuinely really do like my full-time job. Some people work because they have to. I work because I have to as well, but I genuinely love my actual job. Number 34, question 34, from Ruben. What kind of music do you like? I remember in one of your old videos that you like In Flames. Which other bands do you like? Yeah, I love In Flames. A lot of metal. I listen to a lot of metal music. But at the same time, on the other side of the coin, I listen to country and some like house techno stuff. And like I'm all over the place when it comes to music. I even listen to like old school swing 40s music. The only music I don't like is like pop. I hate pop. And basically any current music that's not metal or hard rock or anything, it's not good. I hate current music. Next question from Webster. What if bands traded members the way sports teams trade players? I don't know if that would work. We all have different tastes in genres and playing styles, so I'm not sure if that would mesh properly. Number 36 from Finn. What is the coolest jersey in your collection? Probably the one that Joey got me with Saku Koivu's signature. That's such a damn cool jersey. Number 37 from Holden. If Montreal were to suddenly disappear from the league, who would become your new diehard number one team? You might think it would be San Jose because they're my second favorite team, but it would actually be Colorado. Number 38 from Chris. 2 questions, Neil. Who do you think is going to take the Calder Cup this year, and what is your favorite holiday? Chris, I have no idea. I know there are some rookies that I've been having so much fun watching, but to make a prediction, I don't even want to say it because I think it's maybe up in the air at this point, and I want to see how things progress. And what is my favorite holiday? Probably Thanksgiving because I really like turkey. I like to eat, so maybe Thanksgiving. Number 39 from Joseph. If you were not a Montreal Canadiens fan, what team would you cheer for? So I guess I already answered this, the Colorado Avalanche. Number 40 from Z Cola. Can you rank AHL goal horns and logos? I just ranked the AHL logos. If you want to go check that out, it's on the channel. And goal horns, that might be something I could possibly do in the future, yeah. Number 41 from Brent Taylor. Who's the father?
Who is your daddy and what does he do?
Number 42 from Nicholas. If Carey Price was to be dealt and cap wasn't an issue, where would you like to see him? P.S. Love the content. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Probably Vancouver, just because that's the closest team to where he grew up. Or maybe Seattle. That would be interesting as well, but that might cause some drama, so we'll leave it there. Number 43, CDS. You've shown the cats again. I probably should show you the cats, but I can't pick them up with a jersey on. They've already ruined one of my jerseys, so I'll try and show them in the future. Maybe I'll post some photos. Number 44 from Jacob. Looking back at everything, how do you feel about the insanely positive impact you have on hockey fans all over the world? For me personally, it was awesome to find a channel like you and Vesper Hockey, to be able to find a niche of interest that reflect my own. Thank you very much, Jacob, for that question. For those kind words that you said there. I appreciate that. I don't really think of what I do to have a positive impact on anyone out there. I don't know. I make content that I like. And if people watch, that's awesome. And I kind of, it seems maybe a little bit cheesy and stuff, but I kind of see us all as friends. If you're watching what I'm creating, that probably means we're interested in the same things, which probably means we'd get along in real life. So I kind of see you guys as my friends that way. So it's nice to have a little community where we can all kind of talk about hockey in general or whatever, jerseys, logos, whatever. So, I thank you, Jacob. I appreciate that. Number 45 from Kaprizov for Calder. What are your thoughts on Kaprizov and what do you like about his game? Man, I love that kid. He's awesome. There's a lot of little things about his game that I've noticed so far. How long is this video? Okay, we're at like 45 minutes in this video, or 40 minutes. I'll give a quick answer. One of the things that he does really well is his awareness when it comes to him not having the puck. So he'll kind of bait guys out. And what I mean by that is if he sees a play happening on the other side of the ice, and if Minnesota's playing a team that really focuses on man-on-man coverage, what he'll do is he'll kind of skate away from the play a little bit and bait the guy to follow him. And he'll watch as the play progresses. And when he sees the play starting to come back over into where he is or where he's supposed to be, he'll jet away and leave the other guy kind of standing still, and he just finds himself open all the time just by doing that. And it's just a little aspect of his game that I really, really like. Number 46 from Young Judd. Do you think the Canucks will win the Cup in the next 5 years? If you had to ask me that prior to the season starting, I would have said yes. Right now, man, I don't know. I don't know. Number 47. How many 9-year-olds could you take in a fight before you go down? I'm not that tall, so I'm sure I'm only like 5'10". So I'm sure there's some 9-year-olds that are probably at least half my height. And how many 9-year-olds do you think you could take in a fight before you go down? I'm not super strong, but I'm fast. I feel like I'd probably take out like 20 9-year-olds, maybe 20 to 25 9-year-olds. I could slap some 9-year-olds around. I think I'm pretty confident in that. Number 48 from Isaiah. Why is Saku Koivu your favorite player? I don't even know. I don't remember why initially I started to cheer for Koivu. I don't know if it was because he was wearing my favorite number. It probably was something stupid like that. But I just remember really appreciating his talent, but also him as a person and his respect for the game and the players and the people around the game. He's a very kind person, and I really appreciate that about him. What's your favorite uniform of all time, any sport? Oh, favorite uniform? I might have to say the LA Kings reverse retro uniform. I really might have to say that. Favorite food? Chicken anything. Number one place you want to travel in the world that I haven't been yet. Let's choose one I haven't been yet. I'm gonna say Norway or Finland or maybe Sweden. So, around that area. Question 49 from Dominic. Hi Neil, Hi Neil, why do you think the IIHF World Championship not much popular in the USA and Canada in comparison with Europe? It's not really that North Americans are closed-minded. That's probably not the right term, but we North Americans typically don't open our vision to the rest of the world when it comes to sports. And I think we're so focused on the NHL and the AHL and the QMJHL and the ECHL and all these leagues in North America, because there's a lot, that maybe we don't pay enough attention to some of the stuff happening in Europe, even though it's international hockey. And I think also the World Championships are on the same time the playoffs are on, if I'm not mistaken. And everything, like if you're going to watch IIHF World Championship hockey versus playoff hockey, I don't, maybe we wouldn't be friends. I don't know. Question number 50, which I think is the last one. Given the current NHL logos, if you could personally redesign a primary logo for one team, which one would you choose and why? And which team do you think needs a rebrand the most? I believe that the Tampa Bay Lightning need a rebranding the most, but they're not the logo that I would choose to redesign. I think I would choose the Capitals. I just hate how their logo is on a jersey. I just want something that's more cohesive and just a one shape, basically. As a designer and having to put that damn logo into thumbnails and stuff, it's so annoying to try and fit in places. Just the orientation of it, the fact that most of it's white and it's got like negative space in between the letters and stuff, and it's a really annoying logo to work with digitally. So it would be the Washington Capitals. So that's it. That's the last question. Thank you guys so much for asking all those questions. I know this was a long video, but I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to ask those questions. Hope you're having a really good day. Subscribe if you're not, and I'll catch you in the next Q&A sometime in the next couple of months. Adios.